When you take time to apply for a role that you know you're qualified for, and then you get a rejection but zero explanation as to why you weren't selected? I know the job search can feel mysterious when you don't get feedback. And because diagnosing the job search has become second nature to me, I decided that today I'm going to tell you about the two very different issues I see professionals come in with all the time and how we solve these two problems. And by the way, if the job search feels mysterious to you, you should know that you're not alone in feeling out of the loop. Career, I know, but fashion, not so much. I've been trying to find a blazer that fits for years, but every time the sleeves feel a little bit too long and the pockets just, I don't know, they're kind of off. Something looks weird about it. And every single time the blazer overpowers the entire outfit. I know that every store has different designs. And so here I go shopping to 15, 20, 30 stores, and still, years later, nothing ever fits. And you're probably laughing because just by hearing my symptoms, my sleeves are too long, the pockets are off, you probably already know something I didn't know for years. Just this year, I found out that petite does not actually mean slim, tiny figure. It means 5'4" and below. And being a 5'3" woman, that would be me. It's so funny because the solution was literally inches away, and I'm sitting here frustrated, walking right past my size over and over again. Being able to get the answer to this mysterious situation would have unlocked my solution years ago. Well, today we are going to unlock the solution to get you and your job search into gear, just like learning about petite sizing is going to get my outfits into gear. It's so interesting how the solution can actually be right next to you. Well, in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to help you to identify the part of the process you need to focus on, and it might be easier than you think. Once it clicks and you do the work to clarify your direction and your value and your communications, it's going to lead to stronger responses, to more natural conversations, and to a clear red thread story that makes employers feel good about saying yes to giving you a call back. Hey there, welcome to the Uncommon Career Podcast. We're here every Tuesday on your favorite podcast platform with practical advice on working your job search smarter, not harder, and on spotting those thoughts and patterns that unknowingly hinder your brand. Now, my name is Patricia, and I'm your career coach and brand strategist. Now, if this is your first time here, then first off, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me roll out the red carpet for you. And you should know that a good place to start is with the podcast roadmap. This is your job search mini course with all of our most helpful episodes for every part of your search. And you can grab it at theuncommoncareer.com/roadmap. The link is in the description, but again, that's theuncommoncareer.com/roadmap. I should also mention that if this is your first time here, you have landed in the perfect spot. I'm basically going to share with you our approach and also what it looks like for some of our clients and how you can apply it. Okay, so let's get started. When I first meet with professionals, there's really only two ways the call goes. First, it's possible that the issue they see is the main blocker and everything else really looks pretty good. Or number two, it's not any one part of the process that's the issue, but it's the foundation. And the foundational issue surfaces later on in the search, as late as second interviews. Now, the first scenario, where the issue is pretty straightforward, you can usually tell if you're in this scenario when you have concrete validation from employers. This means you're getting callbacks and you're moving along in the search at a pretty good pace. Your messaging, in this case, is both strong and consistent across your channels. And that means that you're sending the same message verbally and non-verbally, on paper and online. Now, if you think you're in this camp, now is a great time to step back and look at the bigger picture to see where a small tweak or disconnect might be. The most common areas you can work on include tightening up your verbiage, elevating your strategic differentiators to make sure they stand out all across your brand, or anticipating and addressing questions and concerns before they're asked in an interview. Now, if you stay till the end, you can actually do a self-assessment with me to see if this is the route for you. If you prefer to talk through this together and find out exactly where you land, feel free to book a call with me at theuncommoncareer.com/call. The link is in the description. And again, that's theUncommonCareer.com/call. Now, the second scenario, though, is a little bit harder to decipher because sometimes it's not one part of the process that's the issue, but it's the foundation that's impacting all other aspects. And that foundation surfaces later on in the search. So I'm going to walk you through this in a couple of examples. When I first met Cindy, she thought she didn't have enough experience to make a pivot. When I met Lori, she thought her field had dried up and she needed to pick a different career. And when I met Melanie, she thought she couldn't move industries even if she was still targeting the same function. When we talked things through, the same thing happened. It was clear they all had foundation issues. Now, some of the symptoms of foundational issues include things like constant rewriting of your resume, applying to multiple possible positions, thinking, I could do this, taking a lot of action, putting in a lot of hard work, but not really feeling any traction. Or maybe you feel really good about your interviews, your applications, really good about your interactions, but you're still somehow not getting the call back. All of these symptoms signal a lack of clarity, meaning you're able to connect on some level if you're having great interviews, but the messaging, something's off in the messaging. That's a foundational issue. And so here's a solution. Stop taking action. I know. You're probably like, what? Hang in there with me. In all three examples, and with most professionals I work with, we need to put a pause on all things job search, at least when it comes to our sessions. And we put this pause so that we can get the clarity we need in order to get to success. And that success doesn't really come all at once. It actually happens in two parts. First, we need to unlock a mental shift. This means thinking differently about your search, including narrowing in on your career direction, narrowing in on your value specifically for that direction, and narrowing in on how you communicate that value. As we slow down just a bit to work on these three areas of clarity, the shift almost inevitably starts to take place. Their language starts to sound like ownership, not like rehearsal. Their decisions feel certain, and there's less doubt and second guessing. And that red thread, the story of your career trajectory, straight from your original first career position to your next career goal, that red thread becomes clearer and clearer. Specifically for our three professionals, it officially clicked into place when they each had that aha moment. And they always say something along the lines of, okay, now it's kind of silly and obvious why I wasn't hearing back. I totally get it now. So first is that internal mental shift. But second is the part that's just as fun. These are the early signs that you're on the right track. Recruiters started reaching out to them. They'd get validating comments like, I'm going to send you to the manager right away. Or, you're exactly what we're looking for. Or sometimes they would ask, who else are you interviewing with? Which, by the way, is a great sign. As far as Cindy, Melanie, and Lori, they each got their happily ever after. Whether they were hired on their first interview, whether they got their offer in a record 22 days, or whether it was about landing a role that cut the chaos and started a new, more intentional season. They each found exactly what they were searching for. Now, these are three beautiful stories, but let's zone in on your process. Where are you in your job search? Do you need a tune-up or a new foundation? Most people know at least on some gut level whether or not they have clarity in their search. So I'm going to help you determine that right now. Are you ready? Okay. Whether you write this on a piece of paper, whether you say the answers out loud, or you just think them in your head, we're going to do this one at a time. Question 1. Tell me the one role you're seeking. Okay. Hopefully, you're super clear and you know the one role you're seeking. Question 2. How clear are you on the value you bring to that one role? I want you to give it a number between 1 and 100, where 1 means I don't really know what I bring that's any different than all the others, or I don't even think I'm qualified. And 100 means I'm at the top of my field and I can tell you 3 ways that I am different from other candidates for this position. Let me know. We just need a number right now. 1 to 100. How clear are you? Okay, we're making some progress here. Last question here. Pause if you need to, but I'm going to give you about a 15-second window of time. But in 15 to 30 seconds, try to clearly communicate that value to me right now. Okay, here we go. Ready? 15 seconds on the clock. Can you believe it's been 15 seconds already? Now, again, pause if you need to, but the goal is to clearly communicate your value. What are the top differentiators for you? So, how'd you do? I thought this would be a really neat activity to get you started, and I'd love to hear what role you'd like to target and where you are 1 to 100 on your search. Leave me a voice memo. I've got a link in the description, but you can also just type it into your browser. That's theuncommoncareer.com/voice. I'll say it one more time, theuncommoncareer.com/voice, and I'd love to hear from you. I really hope you're able to determine today whether or not you feel clear about the one role you're targeting, whether or not you have a high level of clarity on the value you bring to that role, and whether or not you can clearly communicate that value to others. Now, before we wrap this up, if you're here because you clicked on a link in my email, kudos to you for taking action and for seeking the most strategic way to engage in your search. I'd love to meet you just to see how I can help. You can reply to my email, send me a voice memo, or message me on LinkedIn. I would absolutely love to hear from you. It makes my day. Now, that's a wrap for this one, but whether it's your first episode or your 50th, I'm glad you're here. It's a joy to spend time with you this week, and I hope your search is going smoothly. As always, know that Denise and I are cheering you on. We're praying for you, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, thanks for listening. I really appreciate you spending time with me today. If you found this episode helpful, please tap the 5-star review on the show's homepage in your podcast app. It would absolutely make my day, and it helps others discover the Uncommon Career Podcast. Now, to download your free career resources and learn how I help seasoned professionals land amazing offers in as little as 90 days, click on the link in the description or go to theuncommoncareer.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.